All right, well, here we are filming the last card. Now, this might be the first one you do, but it's my last video. We're going to use the Honeybee Home, I think is the name of the stamp set. And hiding down inside your card was this little tiny bead die cut, and I know you may or may not have this, but what I arranged was for that to be right here in the Stamparatus. So I cut that and then just ink up the bee and press him down, and then take your pick tool to lift him out of there. Okay, so he's nice. So you can use the spatula end like that to kind of lift him up and out. You could use the putty end, whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to just do, I have one more to do because I cut an extra. So I'm just going to do that while I've got just a second here. Okay, so again, I just cut that with the die and then cut a bunch of blanks. And I love when I'm making multiples of things, it's just so much quicker and easier to make sure that I'm not having to fuss with making sure the die is lined up or anything. I just cut them all out of white paper and then just pop them out of there. So there we go. All right, so now that can go away. Okay, so then we have the rest of these pieces. We have this pretty floral. Now you will notice something about your card base. Okay, let's talk about that first before we do any more. So your card base does not reach the bottom. That was intentional. I thought it was kind of an interesting card look, gives people a little something. So what we did was we put this designer series paper at the bottom edge. Well, I left a little border. So you're going to kind of fit that down here like that, and then this pattern that matches the stamp we're going to use goes on the top half. Whoop! Picked up a dimensional backing. I don't want to trap that in my card. All right. So let's put this up here. Now the card that I used for my inspiration for this one had these corners, just these two corners rounded, which would also look really, really nice. And you would round the two corners of the designer series paper and the two corners of the base before you did any assembly. All right, so then we have our square here, and we're going to grab a couple of ink pads. Okay. And we have the pale papaya for the flower and the garden green for our thank you, which came out of another new set called Good Feelings. It was one I got for participating in a Stampin' Up! Event that was online. So I'm going to go not in the center. I'm going to kind of go over to the left-hand edge like that. And then I will use the garden green to do our thank you. Oops, and it's got a little bit of ribbon fuzz. There we go. So I'll do the thank you. There we go. Okay, so then we have one bee that is cut out. Well, actually we have two, but that one goes to another card. Whoops. There we go. All right, so then we can stamp this bee that's facing this direction. So we have a bee facing this way and a bee facing this way. So we're going to use our basic, our Memento black. I haven't had it. Oh, Leslie, pay attention. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're going to stamp our bee over here, sort of facing this flower. Okay, so it's just going in to get its little nectar snack. Okay, and then we've got our other bee. So we're just going to use the light Daffodil Delight marker, blends marker, and we're just going to add a little bit of yellow to our bee. Okay. Didn't get real fancy in the coloring. I just wanted to add a little bit of yellow to them. Like that. Oh, this one was stiff. That top went on quite stiff. Okay. So now we can add this. So the only trick with this card is to be super careful when you're adding the adhesive to this garden green layer. Okay, so we're going to use some small, the mini dimensionals. I like to call them baby dimensionals, but use a couple of those to support our little bee. Okay. And this one is facing the other direction, so he can kind of go, and it's okay if he hangs off just a little wee bit. So you could have him up here and he can hang off just a little wee bit like this. Okay. So then what you want to make sure is that you only do adhesive on the top half. So your greeting is going to hang down a little bit, so you don't want to have any adhesive down here or it will glue your card shut. Okay, so kind of eyeball where you're going to have it like that. Okay, and then kind of put it on there like that. Okay, and as long as you've covered all your adhesive, you're good to go. All right, so that's the last one. I hope you enjoyed the cards this month. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.